I would not advise anyone to do what I have done.
Oh dear, Nancy, what did you do?
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Tourism Tea. We are Team Von Mack, and today we're here talking about tourism marketing fails. So look, Nancy, you've got me on the hook. You got to tell us what happened.
Well, I was brought on to a company marketing, and it was just the initial phases of rebranding. And honestly, not a lot of people really had a lot of direction in what way to go. And so they had already put some investments down to create and diversify and choose new tour names. And they invested money in branding like little logos for each tour names. And it was super cute. And the names I loved so much. But the thing is that they were such localized, like super local lingo names that they didn't really speak to the visitors. And I just didn't see that at the time. And so, people were coming to the site and they just really weren't buying. They were leaving. The bounce rate was kind of high, and not all of the tours were selling. And so, what I learned from that is, being a little basic was definitely something that could have helped us in that. And that's actually how we fixed the problem, is that we really kind of had to look at everything and see like, oh, okay, like Shadow Quest doesn't speak to Ghost Tour. And so we just kind of had to speak directly to those customers, and eventually sales skyrocketed, but we lost a lot of time and money, and trust with our employees, which were having to learn new tours and all of this sort of stuff. So that was definitely something that was a big fail for me. But we definitely did rebound.
So it sounds like a lot of that research came on the tail end of the project, rather than being done before for your audience.
Yeah, we did not actually do any research at all, to be completely honest.
I can completely relate. Previously I worked with a local attraction that had nationally recognized award-winning tours, and we were thinking about how we could differentiate things a little bit, get a new product out there, and maybe spark some more interest in the attraction. So we came up with a new tour experience. But that was basically it. The idea was conceived, and we put it out there organically on social media and waited. And now, don't get me wrong, there was, there was interest in it. But in my opinion, if there was a marketing budget to push this out there and let the world know that there was a new product to be seen, to be experienced, there would have been a much better visitation rate there for these tours. And there was also some other logistics issues that, if that research would have been done beforehand, could have alleviated a lot of the stress that was going into trying to get this product out there.
I feel like both of our stories kind of relate to you have like this flagship product that really sells well, and you're trying to see where else you can get it out to. But a lot of people are always going to be your first customer. Like, they're going to go to you, but to get people to go back to your tourism attraction for the second and third time, that's where it gets really, really hard.
Absolutely.
And that's what makes tourism marketing unique, right? The need to diversify, because we, again, as I tell everybody, we're not selling toothbrushes. You're not trying to get that lifelong customer as much as you would be if you were in retail or e-commerce or something. And it's a hard nut to crack. I mean, even with research, even with budget, as you both have mentioned, there's still things that you can do that can make you or your company fall slighted to the wind a little bit. I mean, I actually worked with a company in terms of one of the fails I've experienced. And, they were a great flagship tour company, very, very renowned for this one or two or three types of tours. Large groups, moving lots of feet, and again, trying to diversify and grabbing that visitor in multiple ways. I worked with them to create this type of neighborhood, smaller group type of feel, in this brand new tour type product with a brand new tour name and everything. It was his own company. And in our research, we saw that on TripAdvisor, this particular type of authentic, low-key neighborhood type of tour was ranking number 1 across the board. It was, ranking number 1 in Viator. It was, being spoken about. So we were after it. And after doing our research, after buying product, after developing these neighborhood tours, we did not see performance. And then we kept running and did a little bit of testing and changed the tours, and we still did not see performance. And after a while, we, had to sunset that entire, arm of the company. And, my takeaway here is that even though this type of tour is highly ranked, and, this is something that across the board, across the nation is a great tour, and popular type of tour, the amount of visitors in the area going to a smaller, more authentic, more smaller group is limited if you're getting super, 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 super niche. And in that regard, the tours did perform well. There just wasn't enough people looking or interested in that particular neighborhood type of tour. So yeah, it could be ranked number 1, but how many people are taking it? It's the quality of that type of traffic versus the quantity versus the everybody. And that was our takeaway. So I think when you're speaking in terms of failures, not everything is necessarily a fail or a win. It's a learning experience, right? And you cannot develop or optimize or evolve unless you try to do that. And I always advise people to evolve and to try and to learn and to, base it in research and put marketing dollars behind it. But that would be my first takeaway. My second would be to know when it is to call it a day. Don't put your heart into something and just not want to give up on it because you've tried so hard. Sometimes you have to know. Sometimes you have to read the writing on the wall. But above all, after trying something new and knowing when to call it a day, I would say know in your heart. Do not be afraid to ask for help, whether it is a consultant, whether it's another company, whether, it's focus groups or what have you. Knowing when to ask for help and not being afraid to ask for help is a huge, huge thing, because you need that outside set of eyes to just give you that feeling, because you were, again, so close to your brand. So that's just, 1 of 3. There's so many wins and fails out there, but as I say, learning experience, and that's how you become experienced and get that wisdom to begin with. So join us in speaking to that this Thursday, 4 p.m. CST on Clubhouse as we discuss our and your tourism marketing wins. And we will see you there. This is Merica.
This is Nancy.
And this is Ethan.
And we are the Tourism Tea. Thanks for joining us.